All right, I'm hoping that fixes that, but I gotta fix my camera now. All right, says streaming, and I'm hoping it is streaming. Sorry about that for those who are maybe still watching. I was fooling with OBS, and I probably shouldn't have. All right, okay, so let's see, reload. Hopefully that will tell me I'm back live.
I have strong opinions though on Zelda. I really do.
Okay, okay, looks like we're live back there. I'm trying to see wherever we're live just yet on everything else. Come on, Twitch or Twitter. Okay, Twitter doesn't, or not Twitter. I hear my wife yelling at the dogs. Okay. What I tell? She's supposed to be relaxing her foot and relaxing her body, but she cannot keep herself staying still because she has to be running around doing.
I know all about that shit.
Like, hey, honey, relax yourself. Don't run around a lot. Oh, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna run around a lot. Okay. Some reason that side is not starting back up, but I'll set it like this. Anyways, okay, so we are back. My wife is yelling at the dogs. Okay, so which one are we working on Breath of the Wild? Or are we mostly focusing on just overall characters? Because there's a lot of characters across the field here.
No, man. I mean, most of mine were based off of like Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild. I'm not gonna lie because they're the most recent in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're basing it off of that, I think my pick for Ganon. I've sent you the image.
Mm-hmm.
That's my pick for Ganon.
That's your pick?
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, we got a lot of other characters, and that there's this image that I wanted to show y'all, but I'm afraid if I mess with it again, it'll go wonky on us. This lineup is mostly for Ocarina of Time, right? Because they have the witch, they have the Queen Fairy, they have the little guy that does the maps, they have the little girl from the ranch, right?
Tingle was in a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
And Dempe was the graveyard guy. Yeah.
Yes.
Urbosa though, I don't remember Urbosa, and I could be wrong because it's been a while. I don't remember Urbosa being in Ocarina of Time.
No, that is true. She was not.
But I thought Dempe was in Ocarina of Time. He was a graveyard guy. You had to race him.
Yes.
Anyway,
because if we go Ocarina of Time, we got the mailman too. We got Twilight, the princess bodyguard. I forget her name. I'm talking about the one that.
Yeah. You're talking about she's the old woman in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. So that'd be the young version of her or the old version of her, and then of course the Urbosa, like we said, she was not in the Ocarina of Time, but she was in Breath of the Wild. But of course, then we got the Gerudo and Gorons, but the Gerudo are the female warriors, I guess.
Yeah, they're the female tribe of the desert. They're the same tribe as Ganon. Ganon was the one male.
Yeah. So which he used that to get to them. Anyways, the whole story, don't worry about it. The premature of the movie will probably explain that to you. So it's the fact that do we have just a cast of women that are all look like the Gerudos, or do we have a single character that has a setting point like a queen, which would be Urbosa? Which it's really hard to figure out. Like, should we have a lead act for their tribe, or is Ganon going to be the lead act for their tribe? Just the male? Because if if Gen's just gonna be the lead act for the Gerudo, then you don't need a lead act for the female side of it. Just have a bunch of women that are very strong looking and fierce and warrior like and have whatever complexity you want. I don't really care as long as it's a good movie. So it doesn't really matter. But if you do Breath of the Wild, you gotta do Urbosa.
So your pick for Link.
All right, my pick for Link. I had a name for that, but let me give you my wife's because the one that they show here was pretty much like Tanner. Okay, this one right here, Tanner Buchan from Modern Family. That's my wife's pick, but I also thought the guy that played Spider-Man was also really good. And
that's Tom Holland.
I thought
that's the guy in the image.
Yeah, I thought he would be the better one the moment I thought about the movie because he has a very young presence and he's very well known right now. He's one of those actors that most people know of.
Do it well. Mm-hmm. The only problem I have with the image I sent you is I don't think the hair is quite right, but I think if they fixed that, he would be a fantastic Link as far as image.
Yes. Now, I had another, was it Zach Efron? I'm not familiar with his name. And Lisa's, I wish my wife was here because I'm not able to spell or read her handwriting. Of course, my dyslexia not helping very much. I'll probably put it in the camera for y'all to see it. They're right there. I don't know if this camera's backward or not, but it might be backwards.
Lucas Hedges, Zach Efron. Okay.
Yeah. So these are these we looked up guys that are underneath 25 and try to see because we wanted an actor that was young because Link is a teenager. He has to look and be young. And we wanted someone that had a very chiseled featured face that had but yet a boyish charm to it. And I like the idea of the guy that plays Spider-Man, but I'm afraid people would watch that movie and immediately think Spider-Man. Now, my wife also said the guy from, I forget the name of the Dagger Knife Desert movie. I'm forgetting the name of it because it's one of your favorites. Dune. She said he would probably be a really good one if he was a blonde.
Yeah, he's played blonde characters before. He could fit the character.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we wanted that kind of character, but I just see this imagery. It's really hard to say he wouldn't do a good job. But I know there's some photos, graph going on here. To really, emphasize the features a little bit more on the face, and you can make anybody look pretty much young, but it's just how young can you get it to Link? Because Link is a teenager.
That's the thing. Almost all the primaries, except for Ganon, are teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Zelda, teen. Link, teen.
Now, my wife, her pick for Zelda was not Jack Black, but Jack Sparrow. What's his name? The actor.
Oh, you're talking about Johnny Depp?
Yeah, Johnny Depp's daughter. Apparently, she's been playing some movies. I don't know if you've seen her before, but my wife saw a picture of her, and she would probably be a real good one. I didn't know if I was really on that side. Of course, the Harry Potter girl, Emily Watson, which was also in the image of the possible characters that it was showing. Sarah Ryan from Little Woman, Carlo Grace Matrix from 30 Rocks, and Foreign Pranch. I'm not again. My wife's handwriting. I'm not able to read it that well. That's her pick right there.
Emma Watson, Saoirse Ronan, Charlie Grace Moretz, and Florence Pugh.
Yeah, these are all.
So for me, I had Emma.
Mm-hmm.
I had Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence? How old is Jennifer Lawrence?
Have you looked at her? It doesn't matter how old she is. She still looks like she's 23, 24.
I'll just see a picture. Keep going.
And then the Daisy Ridley, if you went blonde, or Natalie Portman, if you went blonde. Stealthy had the girl that played in the Divergence series as one of hers. And I thought if they did some of that age magic, they could put a Mia Jovovich in there and she just whoop everybody's ass. There wouldn't be no need for a Link.
Oh, okay. So, we also looked at a picture of the girl that played in Game of Thrones, the older of the two daughters from the Wolf Clan or whatever it's called. I thought she's a very beautiful woman. Surfer Turner. Yeah, she would.
There is one more I forgot. Hang on.
She would be. She would look. She looks like she could do the part, but I promise I don't really like her acting that much. So, but she's a very well-established blonde character.
The girl that's been playing Gladriel in the Lord of the Rings, Rise of the Rings television series.
Yeah.
I thought she would be a good Zelda too.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people that could play the role. It's just going to be so hard trying to pull, because the
other side of that is it also it very much depends on which one they're making, because if you do Twilight Princess, it doesn't have to be blonde.
Yes,
because in Twilight Princess she was more of a dirty blonde.
Yeah. And then and of course, at what age do you do her? Because I don't know how old she is in Breath of the Wild. I believe she's also still in her teens. But some of the older games, she is much older. Like, she isn't like that helpless princess anymore. She's pretty much queen.
Right. I think this was Twilight Princess.
Like Twilight Princess, she was much older. And of course the why am I forgetting the names of the games? When they're in the clouds or in the sky? Wind Waker.
Impa was her guardian, and somebody said if they do Impa, they should use Michelle Yeoh.
Oh, that's a good choice.
That would actually be really good as a ninja guardian, Michelle Yeoh. I mean, fuck that. I'm leaving her alone at that
point. Yeah. So, but she is a Hyrulean as well, right? I'm pretty sure she's a Hyrulean.
If they do Skyward Sword though, she would be the young. And she could definitely play the older.
Yeah, and you got Jeff Bridges as the King of Hyrule. Somebody said.
Oh man. Okay, so here's what I threw a curveball at my wife the other day. If they do this thing and they have Link go get the sword, who would do the tree? The voice for the tree is gonna be
tree? That would be Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
I think he could do the voice of the tree.
My wife brought up the forget his name, the brother that does deep voices all the time, and he's also plays God in, I believe, Bruce Almighty.
You're talking about Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, I'm like,
so, check this out. Somebody cast Ganon or Ganondorf as the actor that played Loki.
Ooh. Possible. Loki's he's a little thin, but he does play a good bad guy. But he plays more like a maniacal, like evil rather than big brute. I just worried that they're gonna be so fixated on trying to get these high cast movie stars in some of these roles that they won't get any new blood a chance to play some of these characters. And or that they'll put so much budget into one actor that everybody else would just be like these second tier, low budget, cheap characters. I'm hoping Nintendo puts a lot of money into this. Of course, they did put a lot of money into Mario, so maybe they'll put like $1 billion in this game and it'll be going very high. Okay, so do you think that Link should have a side character with him, like a Midna or a fairy Navi. Or Navi or something like that?
Like I said, that is still going to very much depend on which one they do.
Yeah, I'm afraid that they do like a side character. It would be like a Jar Jar Binks, right? That is like, look at this character. They're a side character. They're comic relief and a little joke here and there. I don't really know if they're going to be broadcasting this for the adults or for the kids. You got any other characters that you were kind of curious about who you would like to see as, or?
Yes. It's hard for me to answer that because I don't know which one they're doing. You know, I mean, even though some of the characters show up in more than one of them, it would also depend on which one of them is because they're different ages. So it would be a different actor.
Different attitude.
So okay, here's a question I was having for myself. Since this is a very long-running franchise of a video game, do you really think they're going to be able to do a single franchise in a single movie?
They're not going to be able to do the whole franchise in the movie. They might be able to pick a single game to do per movie, but not there's no way in hell they can go from beginning to end of franchise and movie. That would be hours and hours and hours. I mean, shit. At that point, a 3-hour movie would be too short.
Yeah, I feel like, let's just say, just point case, Ocarina of Time, right? We got each every zone of it. We got the Gorons, the Gerudo, the Zoros, and then Zoros and the Hyruleans. I feel like each one of those areas will almost be like Lord of the Rings, and each of its time and areas it went to. It would be like going to one area and doing that one zone in a movie franchise without it being some like, quick 30-minute montage of what all Link does in that zone and moving on to the next one. They're going to have to do it like in zones. And Breath of the Wild, it's not even better.
Watch this. Sweetie, we know exactly who Daruk should be. The Rock should play Daruk.
Somebody big, broady, and has a very broad, but
doesn't mind making the funnies.
Yeah, don't mind making the funnies, and somebody that has a bit of humor to himself, but knows that strength and I don't know. I just feel like that would just, I wouldn't say perfect, but he does have it.
It would be pretty good though. It really would be.
I'm just so worried that they're going to be trying to push an entire game that normally takes us, what? Stealthy, how fast have you beaten a single game of Zelda? Like, just one of the games. Like, what's the fastest one you've ever beaten? Completion.
Like that?
Like, not 100%, like, oh, I got every single nook and cranny item and every single dollar.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. 100%. But, like, how long do you say if you do just like a pure run, just a start to finish, how long do you think it takes you normally to beat? Like, what? 3-4 days?
How butthurt do you want to be?
Depending on which game it was.
Alright, Twilight Princess. Well, I'll tell you the fastest time I've done on that one, completion.
22 hours.
24 hours.
24 hours? Okay, I can see that. And that's 24 hours in gameplay. Now, try to do that in a movie. I just don't see that very much just coming out in 3 hours. Even through just story-wise.
It's like with any movie or anything like that.
No way.
They cut shit out.
What?
I mean, I think he's finding that they're making Metroid or something.
They're making a live action of Metroid.
Of course they would be.
Sam has come to me.
I'm telling you, they're trying. Like,
of course, if you get too attached to that.
They're trying to like build off of people's nostalgia, and video games are a franchise of loved stories that movies are like, you know what? We ran out of movie ideas. Let's just take from video games and make movies and TV shows off of that.
If I was to do it just the storyline and not the fact that I did a completion run,
which is impossible for her.
Impossible.
Prove it.
Just don't want to.
I'll make it worse. I'll make it worse. If you really want to prove it, you'll do it on your favorite. You'll do Twilight Princess and won't do completion.
I can do that. I don't want to. I don't want to.
So, I just don't see. Okay, I would say I would love to see Twilight Princess, but I feel like that one would be more for the adults. because it's a little more darker. Majora's Mask would be probably for a little more adults because it's a little bit darker. And there
They all
is
a darkness to them. You can't say that. They all have some darkness to them.
Yeah, but just not just as bleak as like, if you look into what the symbolism behind the game is, it is pretty dark. But you're a kid, you probably wouldn't notice that because I didn't notice it when I was a kid.
Majora's Mask for sure. That is an adult one.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I would have to say that their really options are Ocarina of Time, Breath of the Wild, and Skyward Sword. Yeah. And which one would be?
Well, no,
Wind Waker. You can't do Ocarina of Time.
Why?
It's dark as fuck.
I can think of one place that's dark.
Majora's Mask.
There's only one part I can think.
Majora's Mask because he cannot exist.
Well, I would say the one dark part I remember for Ocarina of Time is only the part where he goes down into the tunnel and he meets with the eye thing and that one zombie thing keeps on running after you with the big old mouth. That was creepy when I was a kid. And of course, the zombie-like people walking through town in the future present day of Link, or whatever you would call it, when everybody's like,
And when you finish the game,
I don't remember.
None of that ever happens.
Well, none of that happens because it then splits 3 different timelines. Timeline of Link in the past, timeline in present day, and then timeline of when Link left future to go into the past and left that future with no Link. It's weird. I know everybody doesn't understand that premise. Go look the video for it. It gets convoluted. So it depends on which one you want to go for. It will make it very dark when you realize what he just did to time. Pretty much Link messed it up. Well, he didn't know he was messing it up. They told him to do it. He just did what he was told. Here's a theory that I just not realized. Y'all realize? Yeah, Wind Waker. Princess Zelda, actually is the one that actually eventually would put a stop to Ganondorf. Entirely.
Yeah.
There's a theory out on that. You should go look it up. It's actually really good.
Why do you think he always tries to keep her swept to the side?
I don't know. I thought he's just like, oh, I want her. Or if she has powers.
It was never about that. It was always about the fact of knowing that she is linked to the Triforce of Wisdom, which means if anybody can whoop his ass, it's going to be her. No matter how powerful she is, if you're the smartest motherfucker in the world, you know how to take down a giant.
Well, the theory is because when the first Link can kill the original Ganondorf, he put a curse on the Link, since he had the bloodline of the hero, and only on the hero, but he didn't put the curse on Zelda. So every time Link kills Ganon just comes right back. But if someone else other than Link kills Ganon can't come back because that curse is not linked to her. So if she would kill him, there's no coming back. He's dead.
Well, there is a problem with that theory.
Mm-hmm.
One problem. And we can go down the rabbit hole of Zelda, but
it's a theory, though.
If you go to Skyward Sword, which is posited to be the beginning of all this shit.
Mm-hmm. Where he did the first curse.
Or the first Link.
Yeah.
If you go by Skyward Sword, the big, bad, ugly that comes out, his name is not Ganondorf.
Yes. His name was...
Demise.
Yeah.
Demise. He was a god.
Yeah, he was a god, but his god was reborn as Ganon, right?
He tells you at the end of the game that he will be reborn from then on, because it will never end. That will be his curse upon the land. It never had anything to do with Link.
I thought it was the entirety of the land.
I thought he said onto for the hero. I can watch the theory again. It's actually really interesting. I'll see if they specified that. But yeah, I think that's pretty good way if they ever want to end Zelda is just to have Zelda kill them off and see what happens. But again,
I mean, if you think about it, she kind of does that anyway, even in Twilight Princess.
Again,
they always aid the hero.
Yes. And most of the aid is normally like the light magic, right?
Right.
Which is normally really powerful against Ganon at the very end of the games. Because that's how you, if you want a cheap way of killing them, just use her powers. Just use her powers and you're good. Anyways.
Right. He gets annoyed with it, but it is what it is.
Okay, so I don't know how long we've been, because like I said, it crashed earlier, so we might be over a little bit, but
we're at 7:14 in my time, which would be 6:14 your time.
All right, okay. So, any last predictions? Any characters you want to see in the movie? Like, what if they make this its own timeline?
Oh shit! If they make their own Legend of Zelda movie in their own timeline, which is, if you're gonna pick a franchise to do that shit with, this is the one.
Because you could do literally any.
It historically has different timelines. Then shit, you open up the field for so many actors, because they could be young, they could be old, they could be anything.
They literally do the timeline where, okay, let's say Breath of the Wild, the timeline where they show in the wall murals. They do that timeline. Because we literally know almost nothing about that timeline other than just what the mural show, the image show,
Right.
I would like to see something that maybe is outside the box, but I think it's iconic to do a certain timeline too, because then everybody knows, okay, I'm gonna see my favorite character in this movie and being played by this person. I still worried. Salty, are you worried about the voice for Link?
Why? He doesn't really have a voice.
Exactly. He's never had a voice.
That's it. That's the concern, because most everybody grew up reading Link's text, and Link's voice has been the voice in their head. How do you match the voice in your head to an actor?
The reason for that is because they want you to feel like you're the hero.
Right.
Not because of the fact that Link doesn't have a voice, just that they wanted you to hear his voice as your own. That's all it is.
So you're not worried about it if a certain character or a certain actor becomes the voice of Link, and not you always hear that actor now.
No, because I don't associate one thing with another. Because just because he's associated with that specific Link in that specific timeline, that's just one of what, millions?
I get what she's saying. She's saying technically, if you think about it in Legend of Zelda terms, because there's so many different timelines, naturally Link would have different voices.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because each one of them are their own. Each Link is their own different Link. That is true.
Yeah.
Just like each Zelda is their own different Zelda. Each Ganon is in itself their own different Ganon.
Mm-hmm.
They are all technically different, yet all the same. It's just a big. It'd be like the Spider-Man movies. It's a big old fucking multiverse.
Yeah. Then again, every time I see a Spider-Man, I'm going, I see that one actor, but then there's been like 3 of them, and but if I see the 2 actors, like, oh, that's Spider-Man. I see the 3rd one. Oh, well, the 2nd one, I forget the guy's name. The first Spider-Man, I liked him, but then he got weird. 2nd Spider-Man, didn't very much ever saw him as Spider-Man, and the new one, I just can't help but see him anytime, any movie. I see Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think it was Tobey Maguire.
That's the first one.
And then there was somebody in the middle. and then there was Tom. Then there was Tom Holland.
Yeah,
Holland.
Like every time
I can remember Toby and I can remember Tom. I can never remember the dude in the middle.
Me neither. I just don't see Spider-Man in him.
And you may be right.
It's probably gonna end up being I'm right, and it's only because of my like I said, my memory remembers random shit. I can tell you right now, I have not watched those movies. You can ask Corbo. I have not watched those movies.
Yep, Andrew Garfield.
I'm sorry, I don't see Andrew Garfield and go, oh, that's Spider-Man. I just don't. I don't know. He just it doesn't call out to me Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But that's saying. I mean, think about Wanda. Whatever the Scarlet Witch lady.
Mm-hmm.
She has a whole bunch of different ones. And I know I haven't seen the movie, but I remember that there's different clips of her in different realities, like her being a mother in one, her doing this in another one. That's my point. You can't, just because you don't see him as Spider-Man does not mean that he's not Spider-Man. Just because you don't hear him as Link, for example, does not mean that it's not Link. The point that everybody's getting butthurt about is ironically the truest sense of the fashion that they can do.
Being stuck to the tradition of Zelda and who Link is as a character is gonna be difficult for the actor, but if they do it its own timeline, it wouldn't be that hard.
Well, it's like getting the right person to play Samus. I mean, do we know how old Samus is?
Not a
'Cause I don't
clue.
remember them ever actually saying.
Not a clue.
All we know is she's an athletic female that will kick your ass. So like in a voice for Samus, there was never. I mean, you heard a little voice when you played Metroid when they made the newer one, but and historically there was no voice; it was text. So, and then for the whole first game you played it, you thought you was a dude. Till you get to the end, and then you find out you a chick. So imagine.
No, I know.
Imagine playing this game and you're playing it, right? And you're reading it and you got a dude voice in your head, right? The whole game. And then in the end, they take the armor off, it's a female, and you go, hey, baby!
You and I both know a perfect female for that.
For Samus?
The voice. Think about it. Think really hard. She has that voice. You thought she was a male. She sung a lot. Don't say her name.
My brain is blank.
Starts with a G. Weird.
Oh well, yeah, but she.
But that but does she not fit the profile?
You're
Sounds
right.
like a guy,
You're right.
but definitely female.
But when she sings, you could definitely tell she's a woman.
Okay. So
she definitely is a female. It's not like she did anything. She just, for some reason, has a naturally husky, deep voice until she sings.
And then she sounds like Adele if Adele was really, really good.
Very buff and broaded woman makes you question it and like, all right, let me feel around that neck. All right, there's no Adam's apple. You're a woman. And start singing. Oh yeah, you're definitely not a woman.
She like if you looked at her, she also does not look like a male. She looks like a female.
No, nothing like a man.
She sounds like one.
Yo, she just has a rough and scruffy voice.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
But she sings like a beautiful woman. That is,
and looks like a beautiful woman.
It'd be weird walking up to somebody and they're like,
and had the most.
She has a very lovely voice.
Out.
We're not done.
the most piercing blue eyes you've ever seen in your life. Like, you look at them and you melt. But sounds like a gruff dude when she's just normally talking.
Huh. I wonder if she does any voice acting. I don't know. All right, so Stealthy, did we get all your characters? I know Corvo.
Yeah, I went through her list. So Stealthy had hang on. I'll let you read the names. Here you go.
I wanna
read them. I can't read the name though.
You're talking to the one person that technically, if anybody's gonna have trouble reading English, is me, dumbass.
Come on, read it.
Shailene Woodley? I don't know.
Divergent. And then she had Natalie Portman. If you took Natalie Blonde.
Yeah.
And she had Daisy Ridley. If you took Daisy Blonde. Then I had Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, I have one more that we can add.
I had Emily Watson. And what's your other? Oh, Jennifer Ortega. Ortega. Jennifer Ortega. Take her blonde.
Yeah. See that.
And then I just would love to see Mia Jovovich as a Zelda. Period. Just saying.
I can't see Jennifer Lawrence doing it. I'm sorry, she's too goofy.
I think she could pull it off.
I mean, I know she can. She's more goofy.
Yeah, I still think she would be good. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential, and I'm just hoping Nintendo releases. Like, what do you want to see them first? Release the actors or release the timeline they're going to be doing?
Well, the thing is, if they release the timeline, it'll be easier to pinpoint where the actors are. If they release the actors, then you're going to be digging around trying to figure out which timeline.
Unless the actors tell who they're playing.
Figure it out, then you're going to be wondering if they're just making their own timeline. So it's going to continue the whole thing. So probably it's going to be the cast.
Probably the cast.
I think they're going to release the cast and then leave everybody to try to figure out which timeline we're doing, if we're doing any of the classics.
Yeah, I hope they release like the off characters first, and then like release the main cast, who the main characters the very end. Like,
I'm gonna tell you right now, if they release The Rock as a Goron, I'm saying right now they're doing Breath of the Wild, and he's gonna be Daruk.
Not necessarily.
It's awkward at times.
Any of the Gorons.
Yeah, pretty much any of the Gorons.
Except for the little old short dude.
Oh, yeah.
In Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, like the grandpa.
Yeah, Mr. Grandpa, that ain't gonna work. Or the old short dude in Twilight Princess either.
Oh, yeah, that one too. Huh.
He can't do any of those.
There's so
he
many.
has to be like really short.
Yeah. So he's just picked a real old person.
Make him do it on his hands and knees. Make him do it on his hands and on his knees, and they CGI the body over him.
Yeah.
I have worse. You know that rivalry between him and the other dude, Kevin Hart, I think is what his name is, the little short dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have him play the big one in this.
Bud, get your ass over here! Come here! Dude, get your ass over here! You heard me!
CGI his face a little bit onto the characters. You can kind of see him at the same time. Oh God.
I'm so ready for this shit. I ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah, I
don't know, but he could also play a really good Ganon if you think about it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, could you see The Rock? Because you seen how you seen how he did Black Adam. He could be Ganon from hell.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you right now. If I run into the castle and Ganon is The Rock, here's the sword, sir. You can keep the bitch. I'm out.
I just thought about it. Somebody else for Ganon.
I smell what the Ganon's cooking, and it ain't my ass.
What?
The guy from SWAT. What's his name?
Oh, yeah, the one that played Derek.
Morgan.
What the Hondo? The one that plays Hondo.
When they call us Penelope.
Yeah. Hold on.
Oh, there's just too many potentials of people that we would love to see, and it just shows that the franchise is so beloved like this. There's so many actors that we all would love to see in this movie because we know they will do so good at the roles. Do y'all think that people that play these roles should have any knowledge of Zelda franchise in a video game sense, or just read the books?
I don't know, because honestly, both will be fine. Because it doesn't. What'll happen, honestly, I think is gonna come down to is they're going to get the role, they're going to then research the role, and they're gonna not know whether to use the video games or the books, and it's gonna come down to what people say. Because I guarantee you, not like maybe a couple of them have played Zelda, maybe. Not everybody has.
No.
So I'm not gonna lie, I would love to play in the movie, but I'd probably be like an extra or something.
If Robert Williams was still alive, I would love to see him in the movie.
Here you go.
Plays.
This is who she's talking about being Ganon.
Dude, I could see Robin Williams being the owl.
Yes, the wise old owl from. Yes.
Fuck with you. And doing his little head thing. Well, hello there. How are you doing?
Oh, the wise old owl. Oh man, that makes me want to play. Tingle? Yeah, Tingle would be a good comedy.
He would be Tingle. Think about it. He would want Tingle.
Yes.
If they did Breath of the Wild, he would be what's his name? The big one that shakes the maracas.
Hetsu.
Oh, my wife was trying to figure out the name. She thought the guy that played the crazy guy from he's all black, he has white eyes, he's a symbiotic. He gets taken over.
Venom.
Venom, yeah, the crazy guy from that dude. He would be a good one because he plays a good crazy.
Eddie or
the one that does Venom's actual voice and stuff.
No. Because in the Venom, the recent Venom movie, the Carnage movie, is she talking about the guy that plays Venom, or is she talking about
Woody
the
Allen?
other dude?
I think
about Woody Allen.
I think Woody Allen.
Carnage. Woody Allen. Yeah, Carnage.
Yeah, you play a good crazy
Carnage.
dude.
That's not Venom. That's Carnage.
Oh yeah. So I thought that like, yeah, he plays a good crazy. And I can imagine him seeing him just shaking it and having little crazy moments with that. That'd be fun.
Ooh.
No, you didn't make the sound.
Zombieland would be a good place to start taking some of the characters. The girl.
The younger one or the one that's in dating?
Older one.
The older one.
The older sister.
Might could be a Zelda.
Yeah, she is kind of pretty.
Well, no, I'm not going for the pretty. I'm talking about. Think about what she did.
Oh yeah, well, shit. Was she actually was she her own stunt actor in that movie, or was she actually having a stunt? Like, was she?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. She was doing her own stunts, and yeah, she was doing great in that movie.
See, I could see her, the little girl, well, now that she's older, I could see her being,
Mifa?
No.
Paya?
Not Paya, Pura.
Puro.
I could
Okay.
see her being Pura. Think about it. How did she act in the movie? Very much, I do what I want kind of shit.
Very feisty. But there's a lot of characters in the Breath of the Wild to be trying to be pulling into, and whether or not they do it in all one movie, I don't think they're gonna do all one movie. I just don't see them be like, yeah, we're gonna do all this in a 2.5 hour movie, and that's one game franchise right there. I'm hoping they do a multi-franchise. Anyways, that is it for this week. Thank you for those who are here. For those who are on the other platforms, I'm sorry if you missed it. It kind of OBS is kind of janky on me. It's still working out the bugs because OBS updated itself, and there's a few things I'm sure I'm gonna have to update. And the multi-streamers are probably gonna update. But I'll see y'all next week. It's the same time as always. I will not be streaming tonight because I'm going to take care of my wife because she's supposed to be laying in bed with her broken foot, and she's not. So I'm going to go tie her down and take care of her and make sure she don't get up.
Oh, something you hate to do, tie your wife down.
But I'll see y'all tomorrow as always. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good life. Much love, y'all. Bye. She can't go nowhere.